So we have this OpenGL 3D viewing function. So in this also, in OpenGL 3D viewing function, it is categorized into four parts. One is like OpenGL polygon culling function. Other one is the depth buffer functions and the depth queuing function. So they are categorized. So all these things will come under uh, OpenGL 3D viewing functions. So we'll learn about all these functions one at a time. So we'll see what is this GL enable function, what is this GL cull face mode function, and what is this GL disable GL underscore cull underscore face. So the first function which we are using under the OpenGL 3D visibility function is we have the function by the name GL enable GL underscore cullface and GL cullface mode function. So these two functions we are checking these two functions under the polygon culling function. So why this function is used? So these two functions can be used to remove the back faces. These two functions can be used to remove the back faces. So here we have this GL cull face function and we have this parameter called mode parameter. So this mode parameter can take the value GL underscore back. So it can take the value GL underscore back. So this function is used used for removing the back faces. So we have a function by the name GL cull face, which is taking mode as the parameter. So this parameter mode can take the value constant called GL underscore constant. And also this value, this mode value can also be used to remove the front face also, or even you can remove both the faces also, that is the front face as well as the back face. All this depends on the viewing position. So if you are viewing the position, like if for example if your viewing position is within a building, then if you want to see only the back faces, so in that case we can set this we can set this mode parameter to GL underscore front also. We can set this to GL underscore front also, or you can change the definition of this front facing polygon by using the front face function. So all those things we have already revised this functions in the polygon also, where I was showing that you can see the polygon in terms of points, in terms of lines, and in terms of phases also, where the and also the default value for this mode was GL underscore front and back. So again, I when we change the values, the polygon, the backside of the polygon was displayed in the point wise, or if I wanted it to be in terms of alignments like that. So you can also change the definition of this. You can also change the definition of the polygons by using the front face function. So, so if you are trying to view, if you are trying to keep a viewing position which is moving outside the building, so in that place also you can remove the back faces from the display. So all these things can be done by using this GL cull face mode function. So you can also view only you can also, if you are interested in viewing only the point sets, or if you are interested in viewing only the straight lines, so for that also you can set the parameter mode as you can set the parameter mode as GL underscore front underscore and underscore back. You can also use this constant. You can also use this constant inside the parameter called mode. So by default, what is the default value for this mode means the default value for this mode will be GL back. So GL underscore back is the uh, default value. So what this will so if you want to activate, so why I'm writing this cull face function in between this enable and disable function, because so um, if I want to activate this function, if I want to activate this GL cull face mode function means first I have to enable that. So first I have to enable that. So how I can enable this invoking function GL cull face means by using the GL enable function. The GL enable function can be used to activate this GL cull face function, and also this function can also be removed. This function can also be disabled. This function can be disabled by using the disable function. This function can be disabled by using gl disable and the gl underscore culface. So this is the thing. So gl culface mode function, your mode can take back and gl underscore back, gl underscore front, and gl underscore front and underscore back constant values. By default value is gl underscore back. So you have to enable this function and you have to disable this function. So by otherwise this function doesn't have any impact on the primitives where you are using this. So so we have seen this in polygon stipple also. Whenever I want to enable a polygon stipple or line stipple, so I was using the enable function. So if I'm using it directly without calling or without activating the enable function, the output was not having any impact. So similarly here also, if you want to know what changes will this function do, means the first thing is you should activate this function by using the GL enable functions. So after this function has been called or after this function has been implemented, you can disable that by using GL disable functions. So so this is how you can use the GL culface function, and the three parameters for the mode will be GL underscore back, front, and GL underscore front underscore and underscore back. So the next one is regarding the OpenGL depth buffer function. The next one is regarding the OpenGL depth buffer function. So um, in this the first thing is what is the initial display mode. So the first thing is whenever you're using this whenever you want to use this depth buffer visibility detection function, whenever you want to use this depth test or depth buffer visibility detection functions, the first thing is you should set this initialization function, initial display mode function, to have a parameter called glut underscore depth. So this parameter you can check the program also. You check the previous program where the initial display mode function is used and this 3D viewing function, how this initial display mode function will be called. So if you want to use this depth buffer visible detection functions, the first thing is you should make some changes to the initial display mode for adding this depth buffer and also the refresh buffer. So how it is done means it is done by using this glut initial display mode where you're using glut underscore single buffer, glut underscore RGB, and glut underscore depth buffer. So once this statement is done, once this initial display mode has been set up, then you can set the buffer value. Then you can set the depth buffer values by using this function gl clear and gl depth buffer underscore bit. So the first step is to initialize the initial display mode where you're adding the refresh buffer and the depth buffer. Once that is set, once it is initialized, the next step is to give the values for the give the initial values for the depth buffer, uh, which can be done by using this gl clear where you are passing the parameter as gl underscore depth underscore buffer underscore bit. So what it is done means initially, see, normally or initially the depth buffer will be initialized with the same statement where you're initializing the refresh buffer. So initially in the starting phases, the initialization values for refresh buffer and depth buffer will be the background color itself. It will be initialized to background color itself, but but you should clear the depth buffer values whenever you want to display a new frame. So whenever you want to display the new frame, each time you have to clear that. So initially the value for this depth buffer and the refresh buffer, they will be assigned with the background color itself. So but you should clear those uh, values. You should clear those depth buffer values every time you want to display a new frame. So what are the depth values? So the depth values for this will be normalized in the range of 0 to 1. So the depth value for the buffer will be normalized. It will be normalized in the range of 0 to 1. It will be normalized in the range of 0 to 1. It will be floating point value. So since it is a floating point value, it will be in the range of 0.0 to 1.0. So that is how it will be done. So by default, by default, um, all the depth buffer value. So by default, all the depth buffer value will be initialized by default. The default values for all the depth buffer values will be set to the maximum values. It will be set to the maximum value, which is 1.0 by default. So how do you activate it? How do you activate this depth buffer visibility detection function? How do you activate this depth buffer visibility detection function? So depth buffer visibility detection function can be activated by calling the GL enable function. By calling the GL enable function, you can activate the depth buffer visibility detection function. So using this, you're activating that. And how do you deactivate this GL, this OpenGL depth buffer visibility detection function? So for that deactivating, you can use that GL disable function. So the same process. So you have to activate the routines and you have to deactivate that. For activating and deactivating this depth buffer visibility detection function, you're using the GL enable function for the activation process, and you're using the GL disable function for deactivating the process. So this is with respect to the GL enable function and GL disable GL enable function and GL disable function. So you can also, so the next function, the clear depth function, where it is taking the maximum depth. So um, so you want to assign some value, you want to assign some initial value for the maximum depth. So for the maximum depth, so that can be done by using this GL clear maximum depth function. So GL clear depth maximum depth function. So you can also apply this visibility, this depth buffer visibility testing, by using some value, or by giving some values for this maximum depth parameter. So this is done by using a function called GL clear depth function. By using this GL clear depth function, you are able to give some initial values. So what values can this max depth take? So what value can this, or what is the range of the value will this max depth take? So this max depth, it can change or it can have the values in the range of 0.0 to 1.0. So um, it can have values in the range of 0.0 to 1.0. So it's a floating point value. So how do you call this function, or how do you load this function? So how do you call this function, or how do you load this function means? So to load the initial value, to load the initial value inside the depth buffer. So what we should do means, we should call a function called GL clear, GL clear, and GL underscore this function. So we should call this function. So we should call this function. So just write it here. We should call this function GL clear, GL underscore depth underscore buffer underscore bit. So what we are talking. So you can also apply this depth buffer visibility testing by using some other initial values for this maximum depth. So for that, we are using GL clear depth max of depth function. So here the max depth can have values in the range of 0 to 0.0 to 1.0. So how to do this? So to load this initialization value or initial value to the depth buffer means, first we should invoke this GL color, GL underscore depth underscore buffer underscore bit. So if I'm not using that, means if I'm not calling the GL clear function means, so I will this max depth will be initialized with the maximum default value, that is 1.0. Why 1.0? Because the surface color calculations and other processing will not be performed for objects which are beyond the maximum specified depth. So that's why. So So you should keep that point in mind whenever you are calling this GL clear depth function and you're giving some initial values. So you have to make sure that you will be calling this GL clear GL underscore depth underscore buffer bit function. Otherwise, the default value of 1 will be stored, or it will contain the default value of 1.0. This is with respect to the GL clear depth function. So now we have some projection functions also. We have some projection functions. So uh, in 3D viewing function, we have seen a parallel projection and perspective projection. So the projection coordinates were all normalized. See, in the transformation, we have seen that the projection coordinates were all normalized and their normalized values were in between. Their normalized values were in between minus 1.0. Their normalized values were in between the range of minus 1.0 to 1.0. So the projection coordinate values were normalized in the range from minus 1.0 to 1.0. And and the depth value, we saw no one parameter called z near and z far. So z near was near and near was it was the value which was at the near plane, and z far was at the far plane. So the projection coordinates in OpenGL were normalized with the values in the range of minus 1.0 to 1.0, and depth values were given with the values with the near clipping plane and far clipping plane. So and also we had this near clipping plane and far clipping planes. So they were normalized. They were normalized with the values 0.0 to 1.0. They were normalized. So we had near clipping plane and far clipping plane, and they were given the values in the range of 0.0 to 1.0. That means near plane. So near plane is having the value. So the near plane was having the value. The near plane was having the value 0.0, and the near clipping plane. So this is near clipping plane was having the values 0.0, and far clipping plane and the far clipping plane and the far clipping plane, so they were having the value 1.0. So 1.0, so 1.0 means far clipping plane, and 0.0 means normal clipping plane. So for performing this kind of adjustment, for performing these kind of adjustments, we are using GL depth range functions. So the GL depth range function can be used to adjust this normalization. It can be used for adjusting this normalization. So for adjusting the normalization, we are using this GL depth range function, which is taking two parameters, near normal depth and far normal depth. That means near clipping plane, far clipping plane. So by default, the near clipping plane will have the value, it will have the value 0.0, and far clipping plane will have the default value 1.0. So um, by using this depth range function, we can adjust the normalization value in the range of 0.0 to 1.0. And also by using these parameters, uh, you can change any values, or you can set these parameters with any value in the range of 0.0 to 1.0. By default, the near normal depth is 0.0 and far normal depth is 1.0. So that is a default value given, but you can change as per your choice. You can change these values to any values within the range. It should be within the range of 0.0 to 1.0. And also and also uh, and also one more thing is you can also um, restrict. So using this depth range function, you can also restrict the depth buffer testing for any region of view volume. So you can also make the restriction for testing on any region of view volume, and also you can also change the position. You can also reverse the positions of the far clipping plane and near clipping plane. So this is with respect to the GL depth range function. So we have also have one more function. We have also have one more function called GL depth function. So what this function? So this function as a test condition. In this function as a test condition, which will be used for the depth buffer function. So we have this function as a parameter called test condition. Um which is, so this is a test condition. This function has a parameter called test condition, which is to be used for depth buffer function. So this test condition should be used for depth buffer routines or depth buffer function. So this test condition should be used for depth buffer routines. So you can you can specify the test condition. You can specify the test condition. So the test condition can have 8 values. The test condition can have 8 values. So what are those 8 values? The test condition can have 8 values. One is GL underscore less, GL underscore greater. So greater, less, greater, then equal. So all everything will start with GL underscore less only. GL underscore less, GL underscore greater, GL underscore equal, GL underscore not equal, equal not equal, then GL underscore less than or equal, less than or equal, less than or equal, GL underscore greater than or equal, greater than or equal, 1 2 3 4 5 6, and GL underscore uh, never, GL underscore never, where none of the points will be processed, and GL underscore always, where all the points will be processed. So this test condition can take 8 values which are less than, greater than, equal, not equal, less than equal to, greater than equal to, never, and always. So never in the sense no points will be processed, and always indicates all the points will be processed. So this test can be used in various applications for making reduction in the calculations of depth buffer processing. So what is the default value? So the default value for this test condition will be GL underscore less. GL underscore less is the default value, so that the depth value will be processed only if it has a value which will be less than that of the current value in the depth buffer for that particular pixel position. So this is with respect to the GL underscore depth underscore function. So and also uh, you can check the status. You can check the status of this depth buffer function. So whether the status can be like, it can be in the read only state or read write state. So for that we are using this depth mask function to check the status of the, to check the status of the depth buffer, whether it is in the read only state or whether it is in the write on or read on write state. So we are using this GL depth mask function. So we have this write status parameter, write status parameter. So here the default value is GL underscore true. So write and read state, or and other value it can take is GL underscore false, GL underscore false. So when it is GL underscore true means it is a default value true. GL underscore true means the write status is true. Write status is true means you can read the value, and also you can write the value to the depth buffer. When the write status is false means it is in the read mode. The write mode is disabled, so that you can only read the values from the depth buffer. So this feature will be useful whenever you want to use the same background with different foreground objects. So at that point of time, this function will be useful. So this is with respect to the GL depth mask function. And also and also we have one more function, like whenever you're using a wireframe display of the standard objects. So you can request the OpenGL such that only edges to be generated. So for that you can use this GL polygon mode function. So where this function will display um, both the whether the it will display both the hidden edges and visible edges. So you can use this function. You can use this functions where you can make some changes such that the objects will it will display the objects in the form of a line, in the form of a points, like that. So you can use this GL polygon mode function also. Um, uh, this is with respect to GL polygon mode function. So and we have last function which is called as OpenGL depth queuing function. So what this function will do means, so you can using this function, you can change the brightness of an object. You can change the brightness of an object with respect to the distance from the viewing position. So from the viewing position, so If the object is very near, it will appear bright. When the object is appears very far, it will look dull. So you can change the brightness of a object with respect to its distance from the viewing position. So that is done by using this GL enable function and GL fog eye function. So here I refers to the integer and F refers to the floating point. So you can vary the brightness of an object as a function of its distance with respect to the viewing position by using this GL enable function and GL fog eye function. So the minimum distance will be taken as 0 and the maximum distance will be 1.0. And also we can set the different values for this distance also. So the parameters we have min depth and max depth. So they can take floating point values, and also you can also assign the same function with the integer value also. So that's the one thing is one changes instead of GL fog F, we'll be using GL fog I. So you can use this GL fog function to change the atmosphere color. Also to change the atmosphere color, which will be combined with the color of the object. So these are the functions which are there for changing the background function. And also this will give you the minimum depth value and the maximum depth value whenever you're calculating the uh, values for depth queuing. So this is with respect to the GL fog function. So these are the functions which we have in OpenGL for 3D viewing functions. So you can use any of these functions based on your applications.